everybody, it's your boy Kamon. It's been a couple days, but I guess life update before we get started on the video. I did move back to my old spot, so that's why I haven't been posting. I was literally moving back, unpacking, getting things set up, but now we are finally set up fully so I can bring you guys more content once again. But before we get started, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I do have a Patreon and you can get coaching from me. Just join my Discord and go to the coaching tab, at me there, then I'll get back to you, add you on Discord, then we'll talk from there. And yeah, anyways, I want to thank you guys for all the love and support on my White Forest videos. People are starting to see me as the White Forest guy, which makes me happy because before I was the Sword Soul guy, now I'm the White Forest guy. I'm just the Synchro guy altogether, bro. It's super fun. But I wanted to do a kind of a different video today. I want to kind of do a discussion video of like, what do I think is better, the hand trap version of White Forest or the board breaker version of White Forest? So hopefully you guys don't mind this type of video, and if you want more, please let me know down below and I can do more of these if you want it, you know what I mean? But I want to kind of test something out with my return back to YouTube, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I've been playing White Forest ever since the deck came out in the TCG. It was announced 8 months ago in time of recording this video, and it's been out for 2 to 3 months now, and I've just been playing them just non-stop, like over and over and over again. Hell, I've like, in the first like month, I posted like 30 videos alone of White Forest. So like, I feel, and like, you know, I'm always playing it constantly, trying out new things with it. So I feel like I'm a pretty good judgment of character when it comes to like this deck. I'm not saying I'm the best White Forest player, no, I'm not saying that at all, but I feel like when it comes to this deck, I know what I'm talking about, so you guys hopefully can kind of take my like word for it, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? If it means anything, I've won locals with it, you know, I guess if that matters, I guess, but yeah, so, I did start off with the hand trap version, which I'm like your typical, you know, you go a stellar, if that goes through, that's full combo, you're good to go, right? But I've learned over the past months, like, yo, the hand trap version it's solid. It's very, very solid, but like, the deck will struggle if it doesn't have enough spells and traps in your hand along with your extenders, if that makes sense. But then it's like, the like argument comes into like play, like, okay, what if you go second then? You know what I mean? Like, what do? Do you just let your opponent just combo for a free? You know, that's where hand traps will come into play. You know what I mean? Which I will admit, having hand traps on certain cards and certain interactions, great, feels wonderful, bro. I'm just like, yo, if I'm fighting Branded, if I had an Ash Blossom right now, I could just Ash that, Branded Fusion, and then like his play, he has to kind of do it differently, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, I've been leaning more toward the board breaker variant because I feel like it's just a little bit better than the hand trap variant. Now, don't get me wrong, the like hand trap variant is not bad at all. Both versions are good. So both of them have their pros, both of them have their cons, if that makes sense. One of White Forest's biggest issues, in my personal opinion, is not having enough spells, you know what I mean? To like kind of like count, to kind of interact with your White Forest monsters, because as you know, any White Forest monster plus any spell and trap card is full combo. Besides Rusia, because you only get like a draw from there. No big deal. But yeah, like it's just it's a full combo no matter what. If I have a Sylvie in my hand plus a spell and trap card, that's still full combo because I can go summon out Sylvie, search out Tails, get our Elzette, you know what I mean? And then, you know, send that spell check to graveyard, summon out Elzette, you know, like it's still full combo, like no matter what. So like that's actually why I do like the board breaker version a little bit more, because like I get comments every day like, oh, you know, I like this version, but I feel like having the Dark Ruler in the main deck or the evenly in the main deck is pointless because like if you go first. But like I say time and time again in every video, if you have a White Forest monster plus a spell and trap card, you're golden. That's how you get your stuff started and going, if that makes sense. Now, again, if you're going second, it does feel nice to have more hand traps, But again, the issue with hand traps, besides Imperm, Impulse, Dominus, but besides those, the hand traps aren't spells and traps. They are all monsters. So like Ash, Nib, Droll, Veiler, like stuff like that. Like it's all monsters. So it's like if you open up going second, right? With like, let's just say you open up with your Stellar, Ash Blossom, Veiler, Nib, and then I don't know, let's just say Imperm, right? So that's 5 cards in your opening hand, right? Let's just say you use every single hand trap, right? Let's just say like you use all the hand traps besides Imperm, right? Right? Boom, your opponent ends, right? It's your turn, you draw a card. It's another hand trap. Okay, you still have your Stellar plus Imperm, right? So you're like, all right, I'm gonna know summon a Stellar, use her effect, send the only spell and trap card you have to a graveyard, right? Yeah, okay, let's just say you drew into LZ, right? Boom, right? You send the only spell and trap card you have to graveyard to use your Stellar effect, right? And let's just say they go, I'm gonna Imperm her, I'm gonna Veiler her, I'm gonna Ash her, right? Essentially, your turn is over. You know what I mean? Like essentially, your turn is over and it's done, right? Even though you do have the LZ in your hand at the moment, you can't summon her because you don't have any more spells and trap cards, right? Like the benefit, right? Yeah, sure, you stopped your opponent from somewhat playing, if that makes sense, but you didn't fully stop them because, like, you know, in today's modern like Yu-Gi-Oh, you need at least 3 to 4 hand traps to like fully stop your opponent from like playing. Prime example, Snake Eye as Amina, like you need at least 3 to 4 hand traps to fully stop it. If they open up with like Ash, Wanted, like stuff like that, like you need a bunch to stop them. And then even then, like they can keep going because like let's just say you have like Imperm Ash, right? You have Imperm Ash, right? Your opponent goes summon out Snake Eye Ash, and you go, all right, Imperm that. Okay, cool. And then they go send something, summon out Black Witch, and then you go, all right, I'm gonna just stop that also. Okay, cool. Link both of those away. Make close skies. Like it's so hard, you know what I mean? So my like mindset is usually like, damn man, like even if I have one hand trap in hand, it's not enough. I'd rather just break your freaking board because after playing this deck for so long, right? This deck is actually very good at breaking boards, you know what I mean? It's not the strongest going second by any means. I'm not saying like, yo, go second with deck always, but if you are forced to go second and you do have like at least one board breaker in the form of like a Dark Ruler, Evenly, or even like a Talents, usually you can break most boards with this deck. I don't know what it is. I can't like fully explain like, oh, you break it because of A, B, or C, but like the deck is just good at just kind of maneuvering past stuff. And I think that's also because we are still on the Toy Box engine also, which again, that engine is super good because not only are they spells and trap cards, not only are the monsters spell cards, but they also make your opponent interact with you, right? Your opponent has to deal with those. So it's the same thing as like a Bestial Druid Swarm or a Castier Fenrir, you know what I mean? Your opponent has to deal with those cards because if they don't, they will get punished every single time. So again, even if you go stop, if I go main phase 1 Toy Box, I set both toys, and then I summon out a Stellar. Even if you stop my Stellar from using her effects, right? You still have to stop the toy soldier I'm gonna send. Now, again, if you have like Veiler plus Bestial or Ash plus Bestial or any kind of interruption for both, then sure, you stop both of those, right? But you wasted 2 hand traps, and then I'll probably still have the LZ in hand to kind of extend, if that makes sense. And again, remember the White Forest monsters, they always send the spell and trap cards to a graveyard as a cost. You know what I mean? So again, if I can send my toys to a graveyard, no matter what, I will get their effects unless you are going to be like, all right, I'm gonna bestial that. I'm gonna DD Crow that, you know what I mean? But even then, that's you still wasting hand traps on me, not really super committing, you know what I mean? Because like if you play White Force Toy, you know what I mean when I say like you don't fully commit to stuff, if that makes sense. Like me activating Toy Box, that's not me committing. That's a free body. That's 2 free bodies, right? And then a Stellar, that's a card your opponent has to kind of interact with, if that makes sense. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just kind of yapping at this point, but yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. I guess the main point I'm trying to make is I genuinely think the board breaker version is better than the hand trap version. But if you're more comfortable with the hand trap version, definitely play that also, if that makes sense. But I just think having the board breakers in the main deck is the wave. Like I really like Dark Ruler. Like if you don't want to run Dark Ruler, if you want to run like Droplet, you can. I think Droplet is an okay card in this deck. It just loses to like too many things. Like if your opponent has like a macro or a what's it called, a shifter on you know active, Droplet is dead for said turn. But and another thing I don't like about Droplet is like you have to kind of send other cards you have to a graveyard, if that makes sense. And now sometimes it's not, because like this deck is a very resource heavy deck, if that makes sense. So it's very hard for it to like, I'm going to extend more, you know what I mean? Like you want to try to keep as much cards in your hand as possible so you can kind of activate your White Forest cards, aka your Stellar and aka your LZ, if that makes sense. But again, I'm not here to like, you know, say like if you're playing that you're wrong, but yeah. Also, we didn't even get into the Azamina stuff. That whole engine adds a new layer to the entire deck. It's so crazy how good it is, bro. It's so crazy how good the Azamina stuff is actually, bro. So good. The fact that we can finally get a free Omni Negate is so stupidly broken, bro. You know what I mean? And it's like, even if you want to interact with Black Witch, right? Let's just say like your opponent knows you're on White Forest Azamina, right? Let's just say that, right? Oh, I know he's on it. As soon as I see Black Witch, I'm gonna imperm that. I'm gonna, you know, do whatever I want to do, or I'm gonna ash the Deception. You know what I mean? Okay, cool, right? I can still go normal summon out a Stellar, use her effect, or go LZ in hand. You know what I mean? You can still get value. Like Black Witch adds so much to like this deck. It's crazy. Super happy I finally got the Azamina stuff and I'm able to kind of like show everybody like, yo, this stuff is super good. Watch. And then like it just adds another layer of like what you want to do, because like one thing this deck did kind of struggle with was like making a light and dark Chaos Angel. You know what I mean? Because usually you would make Chaos Angel during your opponent's turn with your Zapper Shrimp if you're not playing the Satellite Warrior. But now that now that we have the level 6 Azamina monsters, right? Which we can recycle back, by the way. We have the level 4 Light Tuners and the level 6 Dark Monsters. So therefore, you can make a light and dark Chaos Angel, and most decks cannot really get past it without spells and trap cards. You know what I mean? Like one of the best decks at the moment is Azamina Fire King. You know what I mean? Like it's just without what's that, Afterburner or whatever, Scorch, whatever the thing the little chicken church is out, the one that like pops. Without that card, they cannot get past a light and dark Chaos Angel in defense mode or attack mode. They can't get past it, unaffected by monster effects, and you know can't die by battle. You can't get past it without using a spell and trap card to like imperm, stop it. You know what I mean? Drop it, turn it off, or you know the spell card, like I said, you know, pop it. You know what I mean? Other than that, they can't really get past it, and most other decks cannot. Same thing with Stinka Azamina and Azamina variant stuff. They just cannot get past it. It's super hard. So yeah, I think having the Azamina stuff in here is extremely good, and I can't wait until we do get the new Azamina stuff, because this stuff is broken. And you know what's crazy? once we get it, we won't even run the freaking toy engine anymore. That's so crazy to like say or think, but it's true. Like, you won't need it. Well, maybe, because if they do end up hitting Wanted or Black Witch to like 1 each or whatever, 1 or 2, then I still think we can have room to run toy engine, because the toy engine is still extremely good. It's still very, very, very good. I haven't even touched Runic because I just don't like that version of White Forest at all. I think, again, Runic version might be the strongest version, I guess. Like, if you want to go off of result-wise and whatnot, then yes, technically that is the strongest version. But I think the like toy engine is just, it's so good. Like, you get so much advantage off of just not super committing. You know what I mean? Like, your opponent has to interact with you. If I just go a Stellar Sen Toy Soldier, my opponent has to go, damn, I gotta do something here. If I don't, he'll get this or that. You know what I mean? And even if they have one hand trap, they might not even use it. They might just be like, you know what? It's not worth using it. I'll keep it in hand. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. But I'm yapping. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this little discussion. Sorry, it's kind of all over the place. I'm kind of, you know, I literally just kind of, you know, off the like dome. I don't really have a script or anything, but make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe to the video so you can connect, man. Have an awesome one. Peace.